The moon isn't just some dead, barren rock that we all take for granted. Sure, it doesn't have any atmosphere or life forms for us to discover, but it does play a critical role in our planet's existence. It stabilizes Earth's tilt, helps maintain our planet's atmosphere, and most obviously causes our tides to go up and down twice a year. But what if the moon wasn't made out of rock at all, like some kind of giant space moth? What if it was made entirely of water? In this video, we dive into the strange consequences of replacing our rocky companion with a giant, orbiting ocean. We can imagine a water-based moon forming in much the same way that Earth's moon did. A wayward rock that got too close to our planet and got sucked in by its gravity. But instead of being made of rock, this space marble is mostly composed of H2O, perhaps even more than 90%. And while our actual moon formed about 4.5 billion years ago, this watery moon could have formed much closer to the present day. Scientists think that something big has crashed into the moon in the past few million years, vaporizing a bunch of its surface rock and leaving behind a massive crater of liquid. We may never know for sure. So, for the sake of fun, let's pretend that there is a water moon hanging out in the sky. What would it look like? How big would it be? Well, because our hypothetical water moon formed relatively recently, it would be pretty darn round. Probably not much bigger than our current moon, which has a diameter of about 3,400 kilometers. The real moon is mostly solid rock and dust with only trace amounts of water molecules in its soil. So if the real moon was somehow turned into a water moon, it would only get slightly bigger, maybe by about 1%. But the difference between these two moons would be night and day. A water moon would be around 80 times less dense than the real moon, so it wouldn't weigh very much at all. It would also reflect way less light than the current moon, because it would lack the minerals that give our moon its shiny appearance. So when it hits nighttime, a water moon would look more like a dim, cloudy disk rather than a bright, starry orb. So how would a water moon affect Earth? Well, it's actually hard to say. On one hand, since the water moon would weigh so much less than the real moon, it wouldn't have nearly as strong of a gravitational pull. In fact, Earth's gravity would easily overpower the water moon's gravity. That means that it wouldn't be able to hold on to any atmosphere or even its own water. Any water that didn't get pulled towards Earth would eventually boil off into outer space. So if a water moon were to replace our real moon, it wouldn't stick around for long. However, before it evaporated completely, it would cause some strange tides on Earth. Since the water moon would be so close to Earth, its gravitational pull would stretch our oceans into bizarre shapes because it would weigh so much less than the real moon. It would have a smaller effect on our tides than usual. But because it would be so close, the change in gravitational pull between the side of Earth closest to the water moon and the side of Earth farthest from it would be extreme. As a result, the side of Earth closest to the water moon would bulge out dramatically, but only until the water moon evaporated. Of course, once that happened, our tides would return to normal. If for some strange reason the water moon did stick around, it would be an extremely dangerous place for astronauts to visit. That's because any remaining water would quickly freeze into a thick layer of ice. Without an atmosphere to insulate it, the water moon would have crazy temperature swings between the frozen cold of space and the scalding heat of the sun. Plus, astronauts would have to deal with micrometeorites smashing into the surface of the moon and sending sharp shards of ice flying. It would be a dangerous mission. But visiting a frozen water moon would be a lot less risky than trying to land on Mercury. Just make sure you bring enough warm spacesuits. Whether made of rock or water, the moon is an important part of our planet's history. So next time you look up at the night sky, remember that our humble satellite is pretty great. When we dream up future scenarios here on SCI Showspace, we like to imagine all the incredible ways that humanity might explore the solar system and beyond. But sometimes the best adventures are the ones that are closer to home. Thanks for watching this video, which was brought to you with the help of a streaming service built by independent creators like us for everyone who loves science and tech stories.